Welcome back to the Weekend Warriors Show Recap Podcast. I'm Tyler from the Unemployed Architects. This week, I'm going to be talking about a few different things. Usually I would say this week I'm going to be talking about my shows this last weekend, but it's more like I'm going to be talking about my lack thereof shows this last weekend. Just not, obviously with everything going on, the pandemic, don't have any. So the point of this podcast definitely has changed and mutated just a little bit. But, so yeah, I've been doing the live streams, so I've been getting better at that, I think. Last time I did the podcast, I was a little bit on the downside, which was, a little bit regrettable, but, it's how I was feeling in the moment. And there's just something to the idea that you're only as good as your last performance. So I think that was that last Saturday night was not my favorite show that I've done, or live stream, or whatever you want to call it. But wasn't great. So got a little fire under me to get some other stuff accomplished this last week. I actually did a lot that Sunday. So after I did the podcast last Sunday, I recorded some videos for like the live streaming stuff. I was a lot more productive this week. So it's like, I feel like the last, I don't know how long we've been on this quarantine or whatever, but the last like month before that, like I was in I just felt like I was in free fall, kind of. Didn't have a good formula for what I should be doing and stuff. But so I got Firebound, the acoustic version, at least queued up to be released. So that should be in the next week or two. So that'll be something to be on the lookout for. Lo did some really nice artwork for that, which I was pretty excited about. So I think I shared that on the Instagram and the Facebook and all that stuff. So and I've been messing with this app. It's called Fiverr. It's FIVR, and you can pay other artists to kind of work on some artwork for you. So I did that recently. I was pretty excited, happy with how that turned out. Can't talk for some reason, but just this quarantine has made it hard to communicate in any fashion, I guess. But yeah, so I got some artwork done, some caricature stuff of me kind of drawn and then digitalized. So that was something new and something just a nice change, I guess. I need to focus more on the visual part of a lot of the things I do. So it'll be nice to use this app to and it's all over the world, and I think the dollar goes a long ways in some other countries, so you can I did a whole anime video for an old song, Evelyn, just to kind of see how it would work for like under $20, and that turned out to be, at least interesting. It's something to look at while the song plays, and that's kind of what I'm shooting for most of my videos, just to keep click on it on social media, keep the person engaged for maybe a touch longer to kind of hear the song out a little bit more. So, but then I got these caricatures of myself done, one of them was like a comic book, which, I'm kind of obsessed with comic book movies and stuff, so that was fun. And it's kind of cool they used the same picture because I had two different artists. So I had one do kind of like a bobblehead version of me in like a suit, because he did this really cool one of I think it was Keanu Reeves. So I had him do the same kind of thing with me. And then I had another person. I'm going to give these guys credit in just a second. And then the other person did the comic book version. So it's kind of fun. I know that this is really dumb, but on the, Monday through Thursday, I use kind of the button down version, the bobblehead version, where I'm in a suit and all and then on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I use the superhero version, and it's like the famous Superman shot where he's opening the shirt and you can see his Superman suit, but instead of the S, it says TUA for the Unemployed Architects. So it's like, I like the idea of, I'm always wearing it under my clothes, I guess, or it's kind of who I am. So this guy on the Fiverr app that did the bobblehead version, it doesn't list his name anywhere, but it's Exofar Artwork. Exofar Artwork. And he did a really cool bobblehead character of me. And then I did this other one, which was Pop Art Hero on Fiverr. And they were, both super reasonably priced. And I don't know, like I said, it was just kind of a fun thing. That anime video, I believe the guy's name was Saeed. And these are people from all over the world. So it's kind of like, I don't have a ton of money, but I can, get some things accomplished. I can pay for a little bit of money for other artists to have work. So they get paid for doing it. I get the artwork, obviously. So it's like artists supporting artists. So it's kind of a cool idea. And if it cost any sort of money, I wouldn't be able to do it if it was like expensive at all. So they're kind of maybe not the upper echelon of artists like where I'm at. So, like I'm not an upper echelon artist, I guess. I don't have any money is what I'm trying to say. And, so, paying them 20 to whatever dollars to do this probably keeps them busy, gives them something to focus and, make money doing their work. And I don't lose an arm and a leg by hiring somebody that is out of my price range and again, I really like the way most of them turned out. So, if you're looking for artwork, I recommend, the Fiverr app. And then Lowe, like I said, worked on the artwork for the Firebound acoustic release, which I think is going to end up and be a whole acoustic album. And that's going to be the picture we use for it. And I really like how that turned out. So she just has a really good eye for that kind of thing. So, I feel more accomplished this week. I definitely did a lot more, forced myself to get up at like 11 every day instead of sleeping in. I know 11's still kind of sleeping in, but not as bad as I was. And just by gaining, that few hours in the beginning of the day, I was getting a lot more practice and working out and just a multitude of things kind of done. So it's been a much more productive week. I feel like I'm finally kind of getting used to this. I'm sure now that I'm used to it, it's going to change again at some point, but it's been good. It's been a better week for sure, and I don't feel like my live streams were too terrible this week. So overall, good week. I have a show coming, it's kind of a show. It's a live stream show, but it's for the Boys and Girls Club of America and the Friends of the BCPA, Bloomington Center of the Performing Arts, where I'm going to play for a half hour, and they're actually paying me, which is super nice, because I probably would have done it for free, just because I live stream every Friday and Saturday night for free anyway. But it's a Thursday night, and they were generous enough to give me some cash to play for a half hour and kind of promote their cause. So it's like a win-win all around. They're supporting artists and the Boys and Girls Club, and I don't know, pretty cool. A girl named Carol Peterson hit me up about that. So looking forward to that. That'll be Thursday. And then I think today the goal is I finally set up my tiny desk area. So I have this old desk that's from like a school, like an old grade school, kind of old school looking. And I kind of dressed it up a little bit, and for the contest, the tiny desk contest, you have to have a tiny desk in the video. So I think I'm going to work on that today. So hopefully I'll record it today and maybe edit it later in the week. So hopefully that'll be something new to be on the lookout for. So yeah, I mean, I actually have some stuff coming up this week. Last week I was feeling pretty bleak, so it's nice to be on the other side of things. But other than that, not really a lot new. I guess a good friend of mine came by today. That was he. I have this old punching bag that I've had since I was a kid, but I couldn't hang it anywhere because it needs to be. My workout area doesn't have like any where to hang it. So I had to buy a new one, or actually Lo got me one for my birthday that's like a water-based filled one. So I haven't used it since, for years at this point, but he just set up a gym in his house, so it was nice to let him have it and have somebody get some use out of it. And so he stopped by, and he was actually an old music friend of mine. We used to do one night a week at a place called Main Street Grill. It's been many different places at this point. It was first it was Show Me's, which was kind of like a Hooters kind of wing type thing, and then it was Main Street Grill, and that's when we would play every Tuesday night for over a year, I think. And then it was, I think Catch 22 was maybe the next, and now it's the Night Shop. So I mean, it's been a lot of different iterations of itself. Not maybe not the best location or something like that, but yeah. So we were kind of reminiscing about that a little bit, and that was fun to. Anyway, his name is Jay Dietrich, and he is one of the best vocalists I've ever met, probably. So anytime I can hang out with somebody like that, I'm all for it. Maybe I can pick up a few tricks or something, but he's one of those perfect pitch people that has just always been really, really good. So he came by and we talked about that and just like the craziness of, I mean, we would end up and I think make like anywhere from $20 to $50 per Tuesday night, and we would just split it. And we try to get people out, and they would always like shortchange us money, and because you're supposed to get 10% of alcohol sales, so, and whoever was working was in charge of that. And I think they kind of knew how that would go. Whoever was working knew that they could skim maybe a little bit off the top, and a lot of the people were really wasted by the time we would, it'd be 1 a.m. when we were trying to get paid. But that was an awesome. That was my first weekly show. I've had several of those throughout the years of playing. And, those allow you to really just build up your chops, like your stage chops, I guess. So those have always been great. I always wish that I had one now, but, I was playing pretty consistently on the Fridays and Saturday nights. So, but having a Tuesday or a Thursday, that was a time where I wasn't playing as consistently on the weekend. I was playing more with the band, and everybody's schedules and everything was always so hard to book stuff. It would be like once every 2 weeks or twice every 2 weeks we'd have a show. So, having the weekly acoustic gig, and it probably helped me figure out live sound a little bit. But anyway, he was. He's kind of a church guy, and he has a wife and kids at this point, so he's not really into the music stuff as much anymore. But that was like a year and a half period where he was, really into it, and he got really, really solid. And I'm sure he could find some of his stuff somewhere, but I've always been harping on him to try to get him some decent quality recordings, because he has written some good songs and stuff. But anyway, so it was fun to have him come by, kind of reminisce and hear him play a little bit. But anyway, so that's pretty much all that's going on. I wish I had more to say. I wish there were more exciting things. The Firebound thing, I think, will be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. Turned out, it's not gonna blow anybody away necessarily, but it's a good, decent quality acoustic version of a song I previously had done that I wasn't super happy with the final draft of it. I mean, it's not bad. I don't think it's bad, but, super electric guitar, super rock, which I still like it that way. Still upbeat acoustic track, but it's just a different vibe. And I think I'm going to do a whole acoustic album of just songs that I've recorded previously that maybe weren't the best, like, quality, didn't turn out the best, or maybe I'll take them in a different direction, maybe be more like country or bluegrass kind of versions, kind of more raw, more roots, and more what the song really is. I think I'm not trying to dress it up any fancy way, just like, here is decent vocals and decent acoustic, and this is what the song is, like, bare bones. Very listenable, but not like trying to be anything that it's not, So I'm looking forward to, I have more time now, so I'll probably be working on some of those tracks. I would like to do a 10-track acoustic album, I think. So I've got one down, so only 9 more. And I'll be releasing those kind of sporadically, hopefully, over the next few years until it's done. But that's pretty much it. I got that show this weekend. I'm going to be live streaming from the Facebook Live for the event. Again, it's to promote the Boys and Girls Club of America, and kind of raise some money for them to, during this crazy time, working with the Friends of the BCPA and the city of Bloomington. So that'll be probably what I'm talking about the most next week. Hopefully I'll get this Tiny Desk thing done today and then edited later in the week, so maybe we'll talk a little bit about that. So, as always, anybody who took the time to listen, I appreciate you, and sorry if this was a little bit slow, but this is kind of where we're at, I think. Anyway, have a good rest of your week, and I'll talk to you next time.